Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever part of the day that this video chooses to reach you. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing damn. I hope that you realize you are blessed. You are blessed. Yes, you are blessed. You're seeing the day. Someone out here is not seeing the day. So remember, you are blessed. And if all else fails, just adopt the attitude of gratitude. It is what it is. All right. Today on Vaughn's Car Chronicle, what we'll be discussing today. I hate to do it. But Temetrius Jamel Morant, aka Ja Morant, gots to touch on this young man in this situation because I feel like there are more Ja Morants out there than we realize. It's a situation where the young man has gotten himself into some more trouble because he's been caught again on an Instagram live video flashing a firearm. The first time it happened, he was in a Denver nightclub, which was right like around game time, like dumb, but you know, he was in the nightclub hanging out. I think it was before or after the game, and he flashed the firearm. NBA, everybody got up in arms. He checked himself into a rehab, saying he was dealing with stress and anxiety and a whole bunch of other issues. Da, 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 da. They slapped him on the wrist. Said, "All right, Ja, go do your thing." Now he's riding in a vehicle. Well, he's in a vehicle. A couple of his friends, his homeboys, on Instagram Live, as young boys do. They all on the live. They listening, they dancing, they getting hype, doing their thing. And out of nowhere, Temetrius, yes, I'm gonna call you Temetrius because you're acting like a little boy now. Temetrius pulls the gun out, and it's just like, for why? For what? The fuck for? And it took his homeboy. It wasn't even Ja that caught what was going on and tried to adjust. It was his homeboy that caught what was going on. The one with the camera, because as soon as he panned back and realized Ja had the gun out, he throw the camera behind his head like, oh shit, this nigga tripping again. When will the young generation get it? I see so many times where our younger generation does things and doesn't understand the accountability behind it. Too many times our younger generation, and I'm gonna get somewhere by talk about this too. Too many times our younger generation does not see or can connect the consequences to their actions. And when there are consequences, so many times they don't understand. Oh, why? I don't understand why. Why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I? And of course, I'm gonna say, oh, well, Ja has the right to carry firearms, this, that, and other. But why? Why? Um, when you're moving on a certain level, when your net worth gets to a certain point, if you feel the need to have firearms around you, you probably shouldn't be the one carrying them because chances are, once you get to a certain net worth, you using that firearm becomes more of a liability than protection. And if you cannot, if you're not savvy enough to understand what I just said or why I just said that, then you have no idea, you know, of what individuals with high net worth, how they move, and really what they're facing on a day-to-day basis. Because I go shoot somebody in their face behind some self-defense situation, it's just cut and dry, open the door, open the shut case. Someone with a high net worth uses a firearm. There's all type of civil litigation that gets wrapped up in that. Companies, businesses get tied up into that. Um, you know, it becomes very murky waters when you have a high net worth, i.e., John Morant. It becomes very, very, very. It becomes almost negligent for you to have a firearm. So that's why they employ security. Hi, me, I'm security. We enjoy carrying firearms. Give me an excuse to carry a firearm, please. 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 But what happens a lot of times is some individuals, mainly, some of the rappers, they think, hey, I can get my homeboy around me. We carry firearms ourselves, we do our own thing. And then you get into trouble. Um, take take this example and put this in your pipe and smoke really quick. For those that say, oh man, you got a firearm. Ja lost on what, about 30 something $million last time in the situation with the firearm. You know, $2,000-3,000. You know, you get you some security for a nice long period of time. Most armed security gonna charge you between 75 and 150 an hour. That's a drop in the bucket compared to losing $30 million. Get what I'm saying? Now, the other thing is I put half of this. What the fuck is going on there? I put half of this on Ja. I put half of this on the environment around him. Those that have the influence around him. His dad, his older, OG, anybody that's older that's been in this world and moving through this world that has yet to give Ja that bit of advice to say, hey, you know what? Let's be mindful of how you move it. Specifically, I'm coming at his daddy. I don't think T. Morant is a bad person, but I think that anyone that tries to be their child's best friend is doing their child a disservice. You are a parent, you are a role model, you are an example, you are a individual that's supposed to tell this child right from wrong. And the moment that we trying to become our friends with our kids, that connection is broken. Our kids are no longer going to view us as that individual that corrects them, that sets the tone for how they're supposed to move through the world, that sets the tone, that gives them examples of how they should be. And I think that's a little. I don't know him personally, but from outside looking in, it does look like T is trying to be his son's best friend and party and hang out and carry on, and that's not how I believe we should do. Because now we see all this situation that Ja is in, and we ask ourselves, who's going to be the one to correct him? Because we've seen that he can't correct himself. T is busy trying to be his best friend, so if he steps to his son and like, hey, you can't do this, you shouldn't move like that, how does he move then? So it's gonna be the OGs, the older brothers, the cousins, the big homies that are gonna need to correct this generation because Ja Morant is not the alone one. You see other people that act like Ja around the everyday neighborhood. Some of these young men, you know, as soon as they get a firearm, they want to show everybody, and that's no bueno. That's a no go. That should never be the case. That should never be the situation. So, Ja Morant, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get the donkey of the day and all type of other bad stuff. But we gotta take a moment to look around and see, is there a Ja Morant around you? Is there an individual that you could possibly have an influence, impact on to change their trajectory, their path? Because Ja Morant is not the only one out here like that in this world. And it's an unfortunate situation, but I do think they finna throw the book at Ja, and I don't feel sorry for him. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't feel sorry for him. Because one, you can employ armed and trained security to carry firearms around you. Two, if you really feel like that you need somebody around you like that, understand that Entourage has been carrying firearms for forever and a day. I'll never forget watching an interview that Jim Jones did before he got, well, he did it when he was after he got famous, but he was talking about the times before he got famous, when Cameron was popping. And he understood and he let the people around him know that, hey, you know, we can't let Cam fuck up. We can't let Cam get into no shit. We can't let Cam, you know, get jammed up on no dumb shit. Because right now, Cam is the bread. And we're not mooching off him. But in order for us to build what we're trying to build for ourselves and get those opportunities for ourselves, we got to keep Cam protected. So if somebody got a hold of Blicky or whatever, you know, somebody going to hold it. If somebody got to put in some work for Cam, somebody going to do that. But Cam gets in no trouble. And think about it. During that time Cam was coming up, you know, you never really heard about any crazy stuff involving Cameron directly. And that was partly because of the network that he had around him. The individuals that was around him say, you know what? In order for us to flourish, we got to protect him, not only from the public, but from himself too. And it's going to take Ja's team to say, you know what? In order for him to flourish, in order for us to get our opportunities, and I'm not saying this like in the mooching capacity, because think about Rich Paul and LeBron's team. They protected LeBron from the time he was in high school to be able to get the opportunities that they're getting today. And it's the same way. Ja's team got to look at it like, hey, we have to protect Ja from everything around him, including himself. And that way we get our opportunities too. So, Ja Morant, tighten up, Jit. Anybody else watching this video, think I'm tripping, like, comment, share, let me know if I'm tripping. If you got something you want me to tap into, DM it to me, email it to me, text it to me, call it to me. But Ja Morant, you tripping. And those guys watching, if you got Ja Morant around you, talk to him. Talk to her. Guide them. Give them that little piece of knowledge. Let them know, hey, OGC, and you ain't moving properly, young man. And that's it. Peace. Love you guys.